Hello, Danica back again with a Project Life Process video, finishing up our mini vacation. So glad to be getting done with these pages and moving on to week 30. So I used paper from the Pinkfresh Happy Things paper pack that I got from the Take 10 shop. I'm just kind of corner rounding and getting those ready. What I have is mostly pictures. And let's see. Oh, I kind of played around with using those aqua letters. Those came from a previous Take 10 kit, but I thought they would just blend in way too much on those pictures because there was already so much blue. So I'm just kind of deciding which thickers I'm going to use, and I believe I settled upon the pink foam thickers. And you'll see me take those out, and I learned this from another YouTuber. I don't remember who it was, otherwise I'd give her credit. But I saw that she took the stickers out and stuck them on her hand to work those out and make sure that they were going to fit. Love it. It worked perfectly. I've seen other people use like clear like packaging from the thickers you could even use, but I really like sticking them on my hand like that. As long as your hand's not too oily or have a bunch of dirt all over it, it should be good to go. So I got those staples. So excited. They're American Crafts and they work in my close to my heart tiny stapler. So of course I'm using the gold ones right now. Just kind of getting some things together. I still have my little white plastic container full of items that I gathered ahead of time. I find if I gather those things ahead of time, it saves me a lot of time because otherwise I will just sit and look and look and look and look. Now, obviously, if I can't find the perfect thing, I'll go to my actual stash and look for things, but I'm going to do some stamping here. That is a close to my heart stamp. I believe it's still available. It's a summer, kind of a fun summer stamp. And my idea was that I was going to, in that bottom right-hand card, there's just a lot of little like watercolor boxes. And I thought maybe I would try to stamp some words, phrases, things in those little boxes. So I'm kind of gathering a few stamps. I've got my Citrus Twist stamp, and I have like the Close to My Heart one, and I have most of my stamps sitting there on my desk, and I think I just go with 2 from the Citrus Twist and 1 from my Close to My Heart, and then another one from the Citrus Twist that came in my kit for July. So I have used that stamp set like crazy. You can see there that a lot of them have been used. I really, really like that one. Very, very versatile. So I'm going to finish up doing some of that stamping, and then I'm going to add some enamel dots. I went a little bit enamel dot crazy on this page, and that poor glitter flare, I keep trying to use it somewhere. I do end up using it at the end, but it tries to go several different places on this page, and it just cannot find a home. So here I'm putting my enamel dots. I'm loving those enamel dots from Freckled Fawn. I'm sure I will be ordering more of those in the future. I like that they come in 3 different sizes because I don't like to use all the same size enamel dot in my cluster. I like to use different sizes. So just kind of adding some things to that middle card, my random scrapbooking here. I will journal about this whole Boogie Bun experience up in that top right hand card. And then you're going to see me struggle with this. Here's a tip. If you are trying to put string into a tag, cut it bigger than you think you're going to need, because I probably cut it the exact right size and I could not get it in there. And so cut it bigger than you'll need and trim it off. It's okay if you waste a little bit and have to throw it away. And I don't waste that little piece that I originally cut. I end up using it underneath my glitter flare later. So just kind of sticking that down. So now here I'm going to work on this card. These vellum circles I just cut with my circle punch. I have to thank the YouTuber Stars and Palms, Sandra, for that idea. I went out to Michael's after watching one of her videos and bought up a whole bunch of vellum. I think I got kind of a teal, a pink, and a gold. And then I went back yesterday and bought some white, just the regular clear vellum. I don't really like how it worked on this card. You can't really see it very well, but I mean, you can see it if you see it in person. You can't really see it on this page. My next page, I'll use it on a more white background page and paper, and you can see that a lot better. Adding some stickers from that Pink Fresh Happy Things Puffy sticker pack that came in the Take 10 kit this month, and I made a mistake here. I stamped and I used my Close to My Heart ink instead of my StazOn. And you have to use StazOn when you're stamping on vellum. It just doesn't dry and it smudges, and Close to My Heart ink is great on paper, but it does not work on photos or vellum. So I kind of throw that aside and don't use it, and I'm just kind of going through some of my other ephemera. There's that little gold glitter. That is where he'll end up staying, which is good that I got to use it. I really wanted to use it on this page. I'm not sure why, but I just felt like it needed to be there. So I use one of those little vellum circles to kind of ground that gold glitter flare, and I will be applying that again to the outside of my page protector using a glue dot. I don't like to put flare underneath the page protectors, so I'm going back to these aqua stickers, and I'm just adding my girls' names to each of these. It's kind of hard to tell who's who in those little photo collages, and as you can see, it's really hard to see that on camera, and it's pretty subtle, and I'm fine with subtle for that. I didn't want the title to be subtle though. So here I'm going to just kind of finish up this top card. I'm going to use that little piece of string that I cut, just kind of staple it down. And it's the twine that came with the poolside little mason jars that I used on the last layout. And it has kind of a gold string that runs through it. So here are close-ups of those pages. You can kind of see my daughter's names there. Very subtle. I didn't do anything with that top picture, but I will go back and add something to it. And I did add still photos of the 2 pages at the end, so you can see what I did. I ended up stamping on a piece of vellum using my StazOn ink this time and adding a little something to that picture. So those are those cards. Now on to the last page of my album. Again, these are papers. The top 3x4 card is from Pink Fresh. The middle 2 3x4 cards are from the Wanderlust Project Life cards that come from Close to My Heart. And the bottom 2 are just some randoms that I had in my stash. I think the bottom left is a Studio Calico, and the bottom right was from a 6x6 paper pad, also I think by Studio Calico. But I'm just going to add some labels. I cut those labels with my Silhouette. I usually cut them on sticker paper. This time I did print some on just regular cardstock to cut out that don't have sticky stuff. It doesn't really matter. I actually think it's a little bit easier to not have the sticky stuff, but anyway, so I'm just going to embellish these pages. I think, yeah, this is part of day 2 and then day 3. Day 3 was kind of just we checked out at the hotel and we went back to IKEA and finished up our shopping, got all the little stuff, and then had lunch there, and then we headed out of town back home. So that's all I really had for that page. So I'm going to keep things consistent and put day 3. I had day 1, day 2, day 3 for my previous pages that I did. So there's day 3. That was our trip to IKEA, and we were so glad. I'm going to do some journaling about that, but we were so glad that we had gone to IKEA on Sunday when we arrived, because I saw that the inventory was kind of low. They only had 6 of the Kallax shelves left, and we wanted to purchase 2 of them. And of course, we would have been super sad if we would have gone and there only would have been 1 left or none left, heaven forbid. And that was kind of the whole reason for the trip. So we went on Sunday, and when we went back on Tuesday, which was our day that we had originally planned on going, there were none left, you guys. So my husband points at the empty shelf and he's like, I guess we're glad we came on Sunday. So anyway, just adding some journaling to this picture. It was a picture of my daughter holding up her t-shirt that said she rode the tall water slide, and then they had a Lego model of the water slide, which was pretty cool there. This time when I'm doing these vellum circles, I'm using vellum tape so that the adhesive doesn't show through. The other card, it didn't really matter very much because I was really covering those circles up a lot. And then I add that chipboard circle from Studio Calico that says Get Lost. And then, of course, I forgot I was going to add this little bee washi tape, so I kind of had to fudge it a little bit and make it look like I had stretched the washi tape all the way across. And then, of course, because for whatever reason the little bee washi does not stick, I have to stick it down with some vellum or with some washi on the back. I didn't waste my little piece though. I did use it on that card, just kind of randomly embellishing back and forth. There's those 7 paper labels from Studio Calico. I think I just added a Monday and a Tuesday to those, and I think I'll staple those down with my gold staples. So excited about those, just a little bit. Here's my planner. You see me kind of make sure I get the date right. I don't do a lot of decorating on my planner. I really just write things in. I use it mostly for just remembering what photos I took, and I usually sit down. I try to write in it daily, and then I just sit down at the end of the week if I haven't, and I go through all my photos and just write down what photos I took so that I know what was what when I get my photos back. Because sometimes they don't come in the right order when you get them back from developing, and yeah, so I need to remember which pictures were which. I'm going to work on this bottom page. This was from our lunch at IKEA. Of course, we had Swedish meatballs and lingonberry juice, which was actually pretty tasty. I liked it, and so did my girls. My husband wasn't as excited about the Swedish meatballs and the lingonberry juice, but he wasn't feeling very good that day, so that probably played into some of that. But I go ahead and add some stamping. There's that stamp from Citrus Twist again, and some more of those vellum circles to that bottom left card. I'm kind of playing around if I want to add another stamp. Just kind of indecisive at this point what I want to do with that bottom. I use my white pen because it says love on that card, and I added I and IKEA so that it says I love IKEA and some little hearts. So I do add, I was kind of looking, I wanted to add a clip, and I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this bottom card. So I go ahead and stick those vellum circles down with my vellum tape. You can see the tape a little bit. Some people have said, oh, I don't use it because you can see it anyway. It's just not as dark as regular adhesive is. So it works. It's good enough for me. I think it works well. And like I said, a lot of times I end up covering part of the circles. I don't use them, just full out. So I did use that little dig in ephemera piece, and it covered up the vellum tape anyway. So I'm going to add some enamel dots and some string. This time I didn't make the mistake of making the string too small. I made it too big, and then I just trimmed off what I didn't want. So I think that's about it for this page. Just kind of going to add a few more enamel dots and some journaling to this bottom card. And I think that's about it. So I'll have some close-ups here of the cards so that you can see those, and then I have some stills at the end. So here are the close-ups. I want to thank all you guys who have subscribed and who are leaving me comments. It's so nice to read, that I'm doing something that you enjoy. So that Eat Well, Travel Often, I just realized I didn't do anything with it, so I will go back and remedy that. But here are the close-ups, and then I'm going to go back to that card, and oh, I also didn't put my 2 3x4s together to make them a 4x6 up in the top, so I just add some washi here, and I think that's going to be about it for these. So enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will hopefully have another page for you next week.